Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Father Jerry. It's Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday, November 2nd. The Feast of All Souls. So, again, November is a month traditionally, I was reading this morning, ever since I think about the 10th century, at least in the 900s is when the Feast of All Souls came about. Anyway, November is the month where traditionally we remember all those who have died, family, friends, and of course the saints. That's why we started off yesterday with the big Feast Day of All Saints. It's a good day to recognize kind of where we're all headed, hopefully. You better work on yourselves, though, because y'all are a bunch of sinners. You are sinners. So we need to work on that if we want to get to heaven. So yesterday we started with the Feast of All Saints, and of course today is the Feast of All Souls. So yesterday we celebrate the saints, those that the church has declared to be in heaven, as well as all the others that God knows are there. Today we remember specifically all of our beloved dead. So like I'll be praying for my mom and my dad, and my nephew, and my godfather, and different people that I know personally who have died, as well as many others. And kind of remembering them. So our liturgy office, which is Mr. Whistler, who's here with us today, Mr. Whistler and our people in the parish who are in charge of liturgy, art and environment liturgy, they've helped us plan with our bereavement committee a nice liturgy tonight at 6 o'clock in the church, where we will have some people honored, those who have died in the last year here in our parish that we recognize in special ways, with a candle procession and pictures and some nice environment in the front of the church in the sanctuary area. So anyway, and by the way, in the sanctuary throughout the month of November, we have our Book of Remembrance that is beautifully adored up front there. So we would invite anyone to write the names of any of their deceased relatives or friends in the Book of Remembrance, and we'll pray for them throughout the month, which just reminds me, Sean, that we probably need to make sure that there is that specifically mentioned in the petitions every Sunday this month. I didn't even think about that until right now. So you all are experiencing how Father Jerry works, because he's brain dead half the time, and he remembers at the last minute that he forgot to do something. So we need to do that.
Yeah.
So remind me, Sean,
Okay.
later to change the petitions a little bit for that. Join us if you can tonight if you get this. But definitely remember, throughout this month we're focusing on those who have died and praying for their souls, which has a lot of merit, by the way. There's a lot of value to that. So even like this coming weekend, the first reading is from the second book of Maccabees in the Old Testament, which, FYI, if you didn't know this, Catholics, that's one of the 7 books that we Catholics have in our Bible and other people do not, other Christians do not. So that's something I'm not going to tell you about. You need to figure it out yourselves. You should know. If you don't know, then look up the deuterocanonical books in the Catholic Bible is what they're called, 7 books. And then why? Because Maccabees is a good example of why we would include it, and maybe some other Christians do not. And partly it is because in the book of Maccabees you see that the Jewish people before the time of Jesus had a great tradition of praying for those who have died. Specifically, it was when they were at war. So they honored their dead soldiers by not just taking care of their bodies, which I wrote about in my Father's Forum a little bit this weekend, how we need to respect our bodies, both living and dead. But especially when a soldier would die, they would respect them by not just burying the body, but then praying for them afterwards. So there's value to praying for those who have died. That's all I'm going to say. You look up the rest yourselves, people. It's good for you. It builds character. So look up all that good information. I'm rambling. So again, November is the month of the dead. This coming Friday is First Friday, so traditionally we celebrate First Friday Holy Hour devotion here at 6 o'clock at Corpus Christi, and normally that's associated with the Sacred Heart devotions, which is part of the First Friday in St. Margaret Mary. This Friday with our Holy Hour, we are doing that, plus we're focusing on vocations. So the next 2 weeks is Vocation Awareness Weeks here in the United States. To help people to be aware of the need for religious vocations, that is to the priesthood and to the religious life, and pray for that because we need it. So I jokingly say I need replacements so I can retire eventually and do all that. But we definitely do need a lot more priests in our diocese and in our world. So this coming Friday, during our First Friday Holy Hour, we have some special prayers different things that we'll be doing to focus on the need for vocations. And the next 2 Sundays at our liturgies on the weekend, we'll pray a special vocations prayer as well. So anyway, just pray for vocations. Also, our vocations committee, who's helping us do all these things, also started last year a traveling crucifix program. So this is a reminder to all the families in our parish. So it's real simple. They put together a little vocations, what are those things called? Like not a backpack.
It's like a little travel bag, like a it's like a computer bag, but it's
like a computer bag.
Yeah, it looks like a computer bag.
A little briefcase type of thingy. Where in there's a nice little crucifix that we purchased for you to set on your table, and there's all kinds of holy cards, prayers, and so the ideal is that parents, you would sign up for a week. You can still do that, of course. Sign Up Genius. You would take the bag home, and then every night you would say some of those prayers and just talk to your children about the possibility of as they grow up being a priest or a sister or religious in our church, because we need that. And then you could say things like, to your children, you could say things like, be like Father Jerry, he's so cool, he's such a good priest, and you could say that, and then they'll say, I don't want to do it like that. But, anyway, so a lot of opportunities for vocations. So those are the 2 main things I think we wanted to talk to you all about, that again during this month, where our focus is here at Corpus Christi and in the Universal Church. And then again, here in the next couple of weeks, our focus on praying for vocations. So I think that's it. Hopefully everybody had a good last weekend, Halloween. Thank you for all the input, by the way, about my mask. The vote getters, the big ones were Spider-Man and Iron Man. And thank you to Mr. Whistler and Mr. Whistler Jr. For donating the mask for me to use for that. Had a fun time Halloween night with my great nieces and nephews, handing out candy and going trick-or-treating with them too. Those are good times. So anyway, I think that's it for this week, everybody. As always, if you need anything from Corpus Christi, please let us know. Give our offices a call. Go to our website. Read our bulletin. There's a lot out there. So we're here to serve you. So thank you all so much, everybody. God bless. Have a good rest of the week.